What's up everyone, my name is Marie, welcome to my channel and welcome to another speed build. So for today's video, I am building a little family home in the world of Brindleton Bay, and honestly I didn't really have any specific plan or house or family or whatever in mind. None of that. I just knew that I wanted to build something on this specific lot because it had been a while since I'd built anything on this lot, and I kind of tend to forget about how much I actually love this lot. It's in Brindleton Bay, which Brindleton Bay is definitely one of my favorite worlds in the game. I think it's so pretty. It's near the beach and I love beaches. I don't know. I love the ocean. I love being near the ocean. I love beaches. So I figured I wanted to build something on this specific lot. So that's what I did. And like I said, I didn't really have anything specific in mind. However, now that I'm talking about it, I do remember that I found a little sketch of a house on Pinterest, not a clear picture or an actual photograph or anything. It was more of a sketch that I found of a facade of a house, and I used that for inspiration, but I quickly let go of it and just made it my own because I don't know, it got me started, and then I really started feeling a certain vibe. So then I went with that and I started building. And this is what I came up with. It's a very small little home, but I wanted to make it for a family. So I turned this little cottage, I want to say cottage, it's not really a cottage. I don't really know what style of house this is necessarily. It's not really a cottage, but it kind of has a cottage look and feel about it for some reason. So I want to say it's sort of like a cottage, but yeah, I furnished it for a small family. I need to think about this for a second because I think I finished building this house last week or last weekend or something. So it's been a while since I finished this build. But yeah, I furnished it for a family of 3, I want to say. Yes, I furnished it for a family of 3, 2 parents, a child, and I also furnished a nursery. So I was thinking that the mom is expecting, and yeah, they're expecting their second child. So they have a nursery ready to go, which I placed the nursery in a room that was supposed to be the upstairs bathroom at first, but I decided to just turn it into a nursery anyway. But yeah, this house only has 1 bathroom, and if you need another bathroom, then you could easily turn the nursery into a bathroom. However, then you'll only have 2 bedrooms. So it's kind of up to you. I decided to just go with 1 bathroom, 3 bedrooms. And then that nursery bedroom is very, very small. So when the kid ages up, when the baby ages up to be a toddler, there's no issue. When they age up to be a kid, I mean, it still works. It definitely still fits, but it's just going to be a very, very small bedroom. However, it will still work out, and there's just something very charming about a very cramped little family home like this. So I just really had a lot of fun with it. And I was definitely trying to go for a more renovated look. So I was thinking that this family bought this little, well, back in the day, maybe it was a fixer-upper. So they bought this house for a very low price, and then they just renovated all of it, basically. So you can definitely tell that the parts where there is that orange or lighter brown siding or paneling on the exterior, I was thinking that those parts, that material is definitely new. They replaced the old material for newer material, but then you can see that the main structure of the house is made out of brick, and that brick definitely, yeah, just kind of looks a little bit used. It looks a little bit dated. Well, not necessarily dated, but it definitely looks a little bit, yeah, just a little bit old and a little bit worn. So I was thinking that that brick is actually the original brick, and then yeah, the siding, the parts where there's paneling, that's new materials, and they kind of renovated those parts. And then the inside of the house is completely renovated. However, they really tried to keep intact or go with that, the original New England kind of vibe for the interior. So for example, they do have a brand new kitchen, which is quite modern, but still, I use the parenthood counters So it definitely still looks a little bit more rustic, I would say. And yeah, so that's kind of what I was trying to go for. It's definitely renovated and new, but they really tried to embrace the original style of the interior and also of the exterior of the house. So yeah, that's the little storyline that I was thinking of. And since this house is in Brindleton Bay, I also placed items inside for pets. You can see that I'm placing down the little cat or dog, it's a dog, the little dog mailbox. I barely ever use those mailboxes, but I think they're so cute. So I was so happy to actually use that mailbox for this build. Because I was thinking that this family, they really, really love their pets, and I made sure to place items for both a dog as well as for a cat. So definitely very cramped inside this house, and I can totally understand if you want to have only one pet in this house, and then you can just delete the items for the pet that you don't want, or that you're not going to play with. That would totally make sense, but I just kind of went with the storyline of the family having both a dog and a cat, because I kind of wanted you to be able to choose between the two if you are going to download this house. Then you don't have to worry about adding items for a cat or a dog because it's already there. And if you only want one of the two, then you can just delete the other items, and that won't be a problem. So yeah, I figured that would make sense. But here you can see we actually already moved on to the interior of the house, and the color scheme is quite neutral. I went with this darker wood tone, or more like cooler wood tone, for the floorboards, and then I used blue walls and a lot of whites in the details and in the woods of the furniture pieces. And yeah, it's overall very light and bright, and I wanted to keep it quite rustic, but yeah, like I mentioned, still I wanted it to look a little bit more renovated and more on the modern side, but definitely a specific style. So that's what I tried to go for. And here I was fiddling around with the huge cat trees. I at first really wanted to place one of the bigger cat trees by the staircase because it fit perfectly right there. And I barely ever get to use those huge cat trees, which I think are so fun. I really love those items, but they take up so much space that I barely ever use them. So yeah, for this house, I was fiddling around with it at first, but then I actually decided that I also wanted to place a pet bed for a dog, so that you can choose, or that the family could have both. So yeah, that's really what I was trying to go for. And yeah, you can already tell that the floor plan is going to be quite cramped because it is an open floor plan. So this area that we're furnishing right now is both the entryway and the living room, but also the kitchen and the dining area. So everything is open floor planned, and yeah, it's very cramped, but still a lot of fun and very cozy in my opinion, at least. So I definitely had a lot of fun with this house. I don't know. I just think it turned out so like friendly and like family friendly and inviting and cozy, and just, I don't know. There's something about this house that I really enjoyed, even though it's not that special. Like, it's not something crazy different from what I usually do. I have been really going for the family homes lately. I know my last video was actually dorms, but I am definitely on a family home streak for some reason. I'm just having so much fun with it. And this one too, I'm just cluttering it up, making it look lived in. Not too cluttered though, because it is already so cramped in here that I didn't really want there to be any routing issues. Obviously, I did playtest the build, so everything is functional as long as you use bb.move objects before you place it down, then you should be fine. But I did playtest everything, and everything is functional. However, it is pretty cramped. So, and I actually only playtested it with one sim, like a household of one sim. So I don't know how playable it will be if you have a family of 4. I think a family of 3 would be perfectly fine. A family of 4 might be a little bit cramped, but I don't know. I was just thinking that this family, they really wanted to live on this spot, and they don't really care for having a big house. They just really want to live nearby the beach so that they can have their pets run around on the beach, and they can run around themselves on the beach as well. That's what I would do, at least. It's just, I don't know, the location of this lot is so magical and so, yeah, unique, I want to say, that they don't really care for having a big house. They just want a nice house. So that's what they went with. And yeah, that's what I created for them. And I also had a lot of fun actually with the color scheme for this kitchen. I used the gray swatch. I think I used the gray swatch that I'm using right now for the cabinets and the countertops. And I think this swatch is so pretty, and it goes hand in hand, like just so perfectly with the color scheme for this house. I think I changed the backsplash for the kitchen though. I think I used like white subway tiles in the end. We'll see that right now. Or maybe I went for these tiles from, what's it called? Snowy Escape. That's also an option. Yeah, I think that's what I did actually. I used a lot of creams, like creamy colors in this build, a lot of beiges as well. Very soft, yeah, just powdery colors combined with some stark whites, because yeah, otherwise it's just going to be a little bit too like bland, if that makes sense. I did want to break it up, is that how you say it, with some whites as well. So that's what I decided to do. And I think the color scheme just looks very fresh and crisp and definitely new, but also very cozy and not too like cold and not too modern, if that makes sense. And I actually also had a lot of fun using the clutter items from the, what's it called? The kitchen kit, the country kitchen kit. Those clutter items were perfect for this house. At first, I was actually thinking that I wanted to use the country kitchen countertops as well for this build, but I decided against it because they were looking a little bit too rustic, and I still wanted this build to feel a bit on the modern side, or at least I wanted it to look a little bit renovated. So yeah, I just went for the Parenthood counters in the end, and I think it works out perfectly fine. I did also give this house a little study area, as you can see, which I completely forgot about, but I'm remembering now that I see the footage, of course. But what I'm trying to say is you could also turn this office space into an extra bedroom if you wanted to. So you could have 2 bathrooms and 3 bedrooms in this house. If you decided to turn the nursery into a bathroom, then that would work out perfectly fine, because you could actually turn this study area into a bedroom. That's what I thought of for this build. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, as you can see, I did place a study, and I also placed a little toy box in here as well, because I didn't really have any space to place any toys anywhere else in the living area. I did place a couple of toys in the kids' bedroom, of course, but I don't want them to be tied down to their bedroom when it comes to playing with toys. So I decided to put a couple in the study area as well, so that the kid can just play with some toys downstairs as well. I think that makes sense, and I think it's nice for her in this case, because I was thinking that it was a little girl. And I was thinking that the little girl is definitely very much into cats. So I was thinking that the family originally only had a dog, but since that little girl, she is so in love with cats, she loves them so much that maybe she got a cat for her birthday, and now they have a family cat as well. So yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, that the little girl is just so in love with her pets, and she plays with them all the time, and she'll go to the beach with them and run around with them and stuff like that. That's definitely what I had in mind, and I thought that that was so cute. So yeah, when I was building this house, I actually really felt like playing, just doing some good old family gameplay. I think that would be so much fun with this house, even though it is a little bit cramped and definitely a bit expensive for the size of the house, but that's always the case with my builds, because they're always so full of stuff and there's just so many items in them that they always turn out a bit expensive. But I don't know, I don't really mind though. You can see that we have moved on to the upstairs area, the second floor of the house, where I just placed this little dresser. I love this little dresser. I love it so much. I use it all the time. It's a dresser from Parenthood, if I'm not mistaken. And I just love it so much, because I always like imagine that that is where the family stores their like picture books, like their picture albums and things like that, and just family items that you don't reach for every day, but that you also don't want to throw out. I don't know, I always feel like that dresser is perfect for that. But here you can see that this is the parents' bedroom, and I was struggling with how to, well, not how to lay this out, but how to furnish this rather, because The only option I had for placing the bed was against this wall, but then it's very cramped and I didn't really have the space for any regular sized side tables. So I went for these ones from Bowling Stuff at first, but the style of them, it really doesn't go with the rest of the bedroom. So I do think I changed them out for something different, but I honestly don't remember what I used instead. But we'll see that in a little while, I suppose. I don't really know. But yeah, you can definitely tell that the layout for this bedroom is a little bit awkward. The window situation is a bit awkward as well, but I don't know, I tried to make it work. I tried my best, even though it is a little bit weird, but I think it turned out nice. I think it was the best I could do. Oh yeah, that's right. I used these little poof chairs from Nifty Knitting. Is it Nifty Knitting? Yeah, I think it's Nifty Knitting. I placed those beside the bed and that worked a little bit better. So that's what I went with in the end. And then there is also one of those little poof chairs next to the dresser, as you can see. It's just a nice little, a handy little item that you can just place in the little corners where, that are very tight, like where you can't really place anything else. Those little poof chairs are perfect for that. But here you can see that we are now moving on to the little girl's bedroom, which is very, very, very small, as you can see. Actually, all the bedrooms are extremely small, but they work somehow. Even though they're very small and cramped, they work. I didn't really have any routing issues, but I was enjoying the fact that I could use this swatch of the bed. This bed is actually from Pets or Cats and Dogs, I should say. And I love this swatch of the bed. Look at that bedding. It's so cute. It has all sorts of cats on it. And I always forget for some reason that that bedding or that swatch of this bed exists. But it's so cute. Whenever I get to use it, I am so extremely happy about it. I don't know. I would love to have that bedspread or that bedding in real life. I am obsessed with cats myself, if you didn't know. If you've watched any of my videos, you probably know that. But yeah, if you didn't, I am obsessed with cats myself. So I would love to have that bedding on my real life bed. I just think it's so cute. But yeah, I did give the girl a little desk where she can sit and do her homework or just write in her journal. And I also gave her, of course, the cat version of the Blarfy in her bedroom as well. And I think that's actually it for the activities that I placed in here, but obviously she has an actual toy box downstairs, so she can play with toys out of the toy box downstairs if she wants to. Yeah, and then I just decorated her room a bit more with some knickknacks here and there and a little rug on the floor, and then that's actually it. So here I moved on to the nursery, which as you can see is very, very small. The room would fit a regular sized single bed, but it would be very cramped. So I would definitely suggest either turning this little room into the study and turning the study downstairs into the bedroom, or just turning this bedroom or this nursery into a bathroom and turning the study into a bedroom, if that makes sense. I don't know, I'm just rambling at this point. But what I'm trying to say is there are definitely a lot of options for swapping around some of the rooms for this house. So even though the house is very small, there are a couple of different options that you can go for. So I think that that is actually quite nice for gameplay as well. But yeah, we actually moved on to the quote-unquote backyard of this house. I say quote-unquote because it's not really a backyard, it's just the space behind the house, I guess. It's not really anything fenced off or anything. I didn't really want to do that because I didn't really want to block the view over the ocean. So I decided to just leave it all open, and that just made the most sense for this house in my opinion. And I just gave them a nice grill and a picnic table and just a nice little place to hang out, but I think that that's actually it for this build already. So let's move on and I'll show you the house in real time. So here we have the house in the game. Wouldn't it just be a dream to live here with the ocean as your backyard and this beach as your backyard? I think that that's such a dream come true. Me personally, I would love to live in a house like this on a lot like this. I think that that would actually be my dream. So here you can see for the front of the house, we have this little staircase and the doggy mailbox right here, which I think is so cute. And then when we go inside, we have this tiny little entry entryway right here with some treats for the pets and a place to store the leashes, of course. And then over here we have the pet area, I would call it, with the little pet bed and the cat tree right here. And then right here we have the dining table as well. And since I didn't really have the space to place two pet bowls right here in the kitchen, I placed one right here, but also right here by the front door. So that's a little bit awkward, but I mean, at least there are two pet bowls, so you don't have to worry about that if you do decide to have two pets in this house. But here you can already see that this is the living area. I did use this chair from Cats and Dogs, which is actually one of my favorite chairs in the game. I think it's so pretty, and I was so happy that I could use it for this house. And then over here we have the tiny but very nice kitchen. I think if you want to use the stove, you might have to delete this little casserole dish that I placed on there, but I just thought it was so cute and cozy and homey that I just placed it there anyway. But you could easily just delete that. That is no issue at all. And then over here we have the little study area with the functional bookcase and a computer desk, obviously, and just a couple of toys for the little girl. And then over here we have the only bathroom of the house. I also placed a kitty litter box in here. I almost forgot to do that, but then at the end I quickly remembered to place one down, so I did that and I placed it in the bathroom. And yeah, nothing special here, just a shower and a sink in here, and then that's it. And then upstairs we have this little landing area right here with a dresser and an easel so that you have an extra skill building item. And then over here we have the tiny little nursery, which it's nothing special, it's nothing crazy, but it's functional, and yeah, I think your baby should be fine. And then over here we have the little girl's bedroom, which this is my favorite bedroom of the house. I think it's so cute. I love this bedding, like I said 1,000 times already, but I just think that the color scheme in here is so cute, and I love the pink little details here and there, and just the pops of color I think are so realistic. And then here we have the parents' bedroom, which is definitely quite cramped and a little bit awkward in my opinion, but I mean, it works, it's functional. They have a nice dresser, they have a double bed, so yeah, you should be fine. And then for the backyard, we have this little porch area with a grill and the outside bin and a place to hang out right here. And then also a picnic table, so you can just sit there and eat your grilled food and have this amazing view over the ocean. And I also placed these little items right here. I always forget what they're called, but yeah, you can just train your dog with that. I thought that that would maybe be a lot of fun for the girl to do, to just train her dog. I think that that would be so cute. But that's actually it for this house. So this coastal family home comes in at 70,940 simoleons. So as usual, it's pretty expensive, but I mean, it is a cute family home. So if you don't mind playing with money cheats, then I think that this house would actually be pretty usable and customizable as well. But that's actually it for this video. So I really hope that you enjoyed this build. You can definitely go ahead and download it off the gallery if you want to. My username on the gallery is Simmarysims. You can also follow me on Twitter and on Instagram if you'd like. My username on there is Simmarysims as well. If you're not subscribed to my channel already, feel free to do so. And if you want to be notified of every single time I upload a video, just make sure to click that little bell icon and you should be fine. So I just want to say thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in my next build. Bye!